So this is part 2 for our Unit 5 lecture on Chapter 5 in Tracy's book. Sorry about that. I think my membership must have expired with my Screen-O-Matic, and it cut me off at 15 minutes. So I'll fix that for next time, even though I try to keep these below 15 minutes. So I think I was talking about really that this will be a little repeat, but researchers should also note participants' initial reactions, and I was talking about the importance of this, their reaction to the research project, as their reactions can provide a unique set of data from your participants. And this is described again in 5.3 Notepad. The initial reactions speak volumes. Relationship building with participants. So how do you get participation from your participants? Negotiating access is ongoing and delicate, and this is one reason that I included that extra reading in the book In Your Own Words. So you need to be aware that you must manage this experience with care. Be sure to be transparent about your goals and consider how to navigate relationships between not only the gatekeepers and officials, but also the key and sometimes marginalized participants. For example, consider this question. How do you obtain permission from power holders, yet assuage fears from rank and file employees that you are not too closely associated with? The boss, for instance. Be truthful about your goals. Goffman in the textbook suggests that researchers should at the least provide a story such that if they find out what they are doing, then the story you presented could not be an absolute lie. Researchers should treat all participants as whole people, be receptive and flexible around your participants' schedules, and sometimes this even includes treating them as friends. To observe your participants, you must continue to ask for access, because just because a gatekeeper said your research was permissible, this does not mean that the participants will welcome your work. Ask participants for permission when you seek to observe them, and be open to answering their questions or concerns. Often showing an informed consent form in this process can help with not only seeking consent, but also breaking the ice and starting to begin a trusting relationship. One other form of continued informed consent is to be appropriately overt with note-taking to show you are recording information. Telling them I'm taking notes, showing them your recorder that you have if you have one. And look at the Tips and Tools 5.1 that really goes over navigating the beginning of a qualitative research project. Briefing interviews and participant information table. In your first visits, consider implementing briefing interviews and charting participant witnessing. Briefing interviews allows you to informally meet participants and invite questions as you first arrive on the scene. This allows you both to begin to become more comfortable interacting with each other. Create a participant information table so you have record of participants for your method sections of your final paper. This may come in the form of an Excel spreadsheet with the participant's name, pseudonym, contact information, scheduled demographic information, your current data that you've gathered on him or her. Also, the use of member diaries. Now, when a participant keeps diaries, they record information that can be used on its own or can even supplement other qualitative inquiry. This is especially helpful for hard-to-access scenes or ones maybe that don't even exist, such as the example Albert, Tracy, and Trethewey on their divisions of domestic labor. Member diaries can provide a nice overview of current behavior, and this is data that can helpfully set the stage for later participants' witnessing and/or interviews. Also, using a map and narrative tour. A great exploratory method is a tour where participants guide you through a context and allows you to see a scene from their perspective. Multiple tours of the same space may help you draw different important aspects of your field site. And tours also allow you to feel more comfortable in introductory communication with the participants. Visual maps are another helpful method that allow you to draw your own visual representation of research site to capture its uniqueness and its temporal qualities. A narrative tour expands upon a visual map, explaining the various aspects of the scene that can include its smell, temperature, emotions, etc. And again, check out the exercise 5.2 map and narrative tour that can help you to better understand this. And lastly is an example of a visual method. This is a visual map, and this is from figure 5.1 in your textbook. And this is a map that was drawn by Ashley Wheeler, who studied the memorialization or lack thereof of the historic Steele Indian School at Indian School Park in Phoenix, Arizona. So that is all for this week, and I apologize again for having 2 parts to it. Next week I hope to have this fixed. So I hope everyone has a great week.